as you guys know, I have been saying for a long time, since basically 2.0 was announced and we saw all the new characters, that I will S6 Brant, okay? I don't care what he does, if he's any good or not. I will S6 him regardless because he looks cool and I want to support Kuro making cool dudes in the game. And I hoped that, you know, every limited dude that Kuro has released has been pretty strong. Jian is probably one of the best characters to use in endgame. Shang Liao also was incredibly strong to use. Every dude so far has been very, very good and useful. And now we have Brant, but apparently now that in 2.1 has come out, we can see his kit details and you could actually use him in the fishing event. People are starting to worry. People are starting to be concerned that maybe he isn't the character that we all thought that he would be. So I'm interested to see what the #1 Kuro bot Satotus has to say about my future husband. What does this man right here have to say about my husband? Let's find out.
Huh?
Oh, wait. Let's maybe unmute him first.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's something really exciting that dropped in 2.1. I'm not talking about Phoebe. I'm not talking about Frazzle. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. It is Brant. And all of
Gay. We all know Shade loves the men. It's his thing. It's his thing. All the men are cool in this game. And Brant is one of the coolest things about 2.0 as a whole. I don't care. Brant is so cool. I don't care. I will S6 him regardless.
of the details, all of the numbers when it comes to his kit. And believe it or not, if you simply just go to the gallery in the escape menu, you click on it.
We've already been through this on stream. I'm live every single day. Twitch.tv, Captain Cabinetz. Come along and say hi. We already looked at his kit and we decided, ooh, okay, a nice support. If you want him to be a decent DPS, you might want his C2, C3. Interesting. Is he any good?
You go to Crossing Stars.
Well, which stage will
all of his information is going to be there. And what I decided to do today was get into some of the basics of his kit,
whatever it is,
talk about some of his build requirements, and why this character might be a little bit more complicated than you think. Because there's a reason why the Tide-Breaking Courage set requires 250% ER. And there's a reason why it's tailored for him. So let's get on into it. So with that, right off the bat,
250 ER is a lot of ER. 250 is a lot of ER, bro. That's a... Bro, I'm lucky to get an energy rerun roll on my echoes once a week at this rate. That's a lot. That's a lot of ER.
you're just going to see some details about him. We're not too interested in this stuff for now. What we're interested in is his
whatever it is,
skill tree. And so with that, the first thing we're going to be looking at over here is his Forte circuit. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of like the bread and butter of his kit. Brant gains additional attack based
280 to max his buff. Oh my god. Oh, I was so cooked. His weapon better give like 1,000,000 energy regen. I'm telling you, his weapon gives 77%. Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're so cooked.
on his energy regeneration. For every 1% of his ER over 150%, he gains 12 points of attack, up to 1560. So, let's just do some math, guys. So, the 1560 that we're seeing over here, right?
Okay.
Divided by 12, or the 12 points of attack, means that he's going to need 130% ER over 150. And so, that... Oh
no. 280. Oh no. Oh, Kuro, you need to let us reroll substats. You need to let us roll. Yeah, I'm just S6 him anyway, so it's fine. Oh
That basically means 280%. He's going to need 280% ER to actually gain the full attack bonus that we're going to be seeing on this screen. So with that, he's going to be hard to build. He's going to be really hard to build. Because think about it this way, guys. I've been doing a little bit of work on his set. And let's just see what my Yang Yang is looking like. I think I was dumping off some of the pieces on her. We've got this ER 3 cost. We've got this attack 1 cost with ER.
God.
Another attack 1 cost with ER. Let me just grab a Lingering Tunes Echo real fast. And let's put this on for size. Let's just put on a random Dragon of Dirge. As you can see, my ER is 205.6%. Let's say I put on an Overture at level 80. I'm still not there. I'm at 252.9%. ER, and no ER. ER.
Bro,
and
getting
ER.
energy regen on any echo with the right crit stats is already like an impossibility. It's already an impossibility. Ah! It's easy though with his SIG and 2 ER on 3 cost. Is it? But 2 ER and still your 3 cost. It's still a lot to ask. You're looking for what? Your crit rates, your ER and attacks? Oh my god. It's only doable if you pull his weapon. So really, his weapon is the must pull here in this scenario. You could reach 280 ER with a 4-star weapon if you get ER on every substat probably. Oh, the focus echo doesn't have any stats at all. Oh my god. Even with 6, oh my god, we're so cooked. Oh, we're gonna be grinding for a long time. Is it even gonna be worth it? Brant better be really fucking good to be worth all this building. He better be useful. He better be useful if he takes this much effort to grind for. He better give something good. He better give something good, man.
R. And no ER on this piece. To reach 280%, I would need to level up this overture completely. And I would need to get an ER roll on this piece and an ER roll on this piece. He is going to be one of the hardest characters to build in the game. He is going to be one of the hardest characters to build in the game. And
then what does he provide that's useful? If he's hard to build and maximize, there should be an upside. Like what is his what's his USP? What's Brant's unique selling point for the game for the current roster of characters? Because we've already heard from a previous video that actually he's not going to be that great for Changli. People thought that he might, but it looks like he might not be. So what is Brant going to be good for? What is Brant going to be good for? That's what I want to know. That's really, what's he going to add that significantly improves the gaming experience? I think that's what we should be. When we look for if a character is worth pulling and worth getting, you have to see what are they going to add to your gaming experience. Like Shorekeeper. Like Shorekeeper is considered a must pull for the buffs that she gives, the crit rate increases she gives, the heals, everything, right? It makes a character a must pull. What does Brant offer that's actually really good, that does better than other characters, that makes him worth pulling? That's, every time you pull for a character, that's what you have to be thinking about. What could they give me that makes this experience better? And right now, it's looking like, damn, it's this hard to build him? He better be good. He better be good.
You can
Does that
imagine
mean you're skipping a husbando? You think I'm skipping? You think I'm going to skip a husbando? Me? He must be delusional. I will get him regardless. I will be the one to S6 him when he comes out. I will be the one.
Is that his signature, hopefully, is going to have a shit ton of built-in ER. I would only hope that his ER on his weapon is closer to the number that we're going to be seeing on Shorekeeper's SIG, like 70-something%. Otherwise, boy oh boy, you're probably not going to reach his thresholds without a lot of help. And this is the thing. He might have some help, right? You might be wondering, oh, what's on his skill tree? What's on those sides?
It's just crit
rate.
It's crit.
So
we saw
it's
this
not
already.
like he
it's
has
crit.
like ER on the side over here to help out with this build. You have to get all of it from your substats and your 3 costs. So basically go fuck yourself. No ER on the inherent, no ER on this. So you might be thinking, my gosh, is this character even harder to build than Rosia? And you would probably be correct if you said yes, this character is harder to build than Rosia.
Goddamn.
Brant might be
I'm in the way.
one of the hardest to build characters in the game. Because you have to get exceptional substats across all of his echoes. Exceptional crit values as well to make use of the fact that, I mean, he doesn't have that much in here. And just nothing in his kit gives him any ER at all. So do keep that in mind. However, one thing to keep in mind is that if you don't meet this ER threshold, it's not the end of the world. That means that your brand...
It better not be. It better not be the end of the world, man. I swear to God. Like, I need him to be good. I need him to be good. I need Brant to you know, at least perform. I just want him to perform. I'm just so worried that people say, oh, you get him for his damage. He has his healed. He has his shields and everything. But it looks like unless you get his sequences, then maybe his damage isn't going to be up to par. So even if his damage is even up to par, what's the point in pulling him for the average person?
Brant is just not going to do as much damage. However, not dealing that much damage doesn't feel very good. And one thing that people love doing in gacha games is min-maxing their characters. And this character is going to be one of the hardest to min-max in the game, because it's pretty much guaranteed at this point that his weapon is going to be ER, and the overture option that he has doesn't really give that much. And if you look at his sequence nodes...
They should probably drop another 4-star, like, ER weapon. That'd be nice. Another 4-star ER weapon? Are you gonna go?
I don't really see any ER on here.
Yeah,
I don't see any ER here at all, except for more ER scaling on his healing. So you can keep that in mind. Getting sequence nodes isn't going to make building him much easier either. So with that, let's actually get into the kit itself. We looked at this one line, we went on a bit of a tangent, but it's an important one to go on because this guy is a fucking freak. Every member of the Fool's Troop apparently is designed to siphon all of the tuners from your account because they require one of the most ridiculous substat blends.
You become the fool. Yeah, you become the fool apparently.
Possible on Earth to actually make them usable.
What if Saint is getting misinformed? Then I'm sure he'll make another video outlining the new information. It's just a video correction, man.
So let's move on. Basic attack. 4 normal attacks on the ground, a heavy attack that doesn't really do anything special, and bonuses to mid-air attacks and attacks that he's using in the air that he can cancel into this whole Rhapsodic Rift thing that we're seeing over here. Nothing too crazy except for the fact that, well, his mid-air attack has an entire fucking
quick swap character gameplay anyway. Yeah, it seems like it. His kit seems very, like, straightforward, actually. His kit actually seems pretty straightforward.
Graph to describe how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's wait until release. Let's wait until we actually have our hands on the character and we're able to actually experience how all these different combos work to talk about it. This just looks absolutely ridiculous to try to explain. He has various stages that he'll be able to advance to across his rotation. He has like fail safes where he does like one move over another if he fails to land.
His whole kit screams quick swap. His whole kit does scream quick swap. Like, it really does. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of tech people get out of Brant. I want to see what kind of tech people come up with, because he's got a lot of things to his, like, his normal attacks, even. It'll be interesting to see what people come up with.
And the attack and the enemy isn't in range. It'll be a lot easier to talk about all of these mechanics once we're actually able to see them in game. This is too much without the proper visualization, so I'm not even going to dive into this right now. Next up, we got Brant's resonance skill. He launches himself into the air and blasts all targets in an area. While in midair, if Bravo is not full, he instead replaces his resonance skill with a plunging attack. And so you might be wondering, what is Bravo? So, Bravo is essentially a forte circuit that he's going to build up over the course of combat. It'll heal every person on the team when he reaches 25 or
that's pretty cool.
25%, 50%, 70%.
It's passive healing. Getting passive healing from using his forte is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
You get it. And when the Bravo meter is filled, his resonance skill is upgraded from Anchors Away to Return from Ashes. And he consumes all Bravo to use this attack, dealing fusion damage as basic attack damage and generating a shield. And when he casts this, when in a flame, he ends the state. So, before I get into what the inflamed state is, let's just take a look at the damage over here. This is a level 1 ability, and it deals 665% damage as the last hit.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage! That's a lot.
And so, don't think of Brant as a healer, necessarily. Think of him as one of the highest damage dealers in the game, because this scaling is absolutely ridiculous.
Is it highest? Okay, that's a huge claim. That's a huge claim. Claiming that he's gonna be one of the highest damage dealers in the game is a huge claim. Imagine not building Brant for damage. If you don't give him damage, you're legit a clown. Hey, this is why his sequences look really fucking nice. That's why, guys, that's why, let's check real quick. That's why his sequences look real tasty. Let me mute myself for a minute. Look at that. Temporarily causes nearby targets to stagnate while casting. The stagnation effect, blah, blah. After casting intro skill applause for me or each flip following mid-air attack, Brant's damage dealt is increased by 20% for 5 seconds, stack up to 3 times. And that is guaranteed. You're going to have a 60% damage increase. Damage dealt. Not anything. Overall damage. This is total damage. 60%. Huge. This one right here. Increases Brant crit rate by 30%. This is guaranteed to happen. Guaranteed to happen. And his outro gains something kind of nice. Kind of nice. You will get a 40% fusion damage attack. That's basically what's happening here. You basically get a nuke. True damage. You basically, his sequence 2, you basically get a nuke on his outro. You get a nuke on his outro for 40% of attack. And his S3 damage multiplier of return from ashes decreased by 42%. Getting his sequence 2, getting his S2 is going to be big. His S1 though, huge. His S1 is nuts. Okay. Overall damage dealt increased by basically 60%. 60 fucking percent. I'm telling you guys, if you want DPS Brant, you'll want to pick up some copies of him. You'll want to, those copies will be insane for you. They'll be insane. Oh my god, is this Cap theory crafting Wooer characters? No way. What the fuck?
And if you're able to meet his thresholds, that's a lot of attack. However, one thing we didn't look at was this whole flame thing. So let's take a look at that. When he uses his Resonance Liberation, he deals damage. Not a huge amount as we're seeing at level 1. He deals damage to targets and then heals everybody before entering the Aflame state. The efficiency of gaining Bravo is increased by 100% while in Aflame, so he generates his Forte Circuit faster from all his attacks. And then his Forte Circuit Theatrical Moment, this one, the scaling from ER to attack, is replaced by My Moment. Brant gains additional attack based on his energy regen.
Yep. And that's why you have a shit ton of energy regen, right? You gain a shit ton of, you have a shit ton of energy regen, and then you get attack based off of your energy regen. And what did we just see? What did we just see in his sequences, right? What did we just see in his sequences? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, 440% of Brant's attack. So those ER stats that those requirements, you're gonna find the more ER that you have, even it's like exponential increases of damage you'll be dealing. It's not like your character will be a little bit better. The more ER you have, I can't even comprehend like how important it's gonna be to meet that ER threshold. So you can get the appropriate attack. So you can, if you pull his sequences, you can get the more damage out of his nuke that he gets on his outro. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be crazy.
For every 1% of his energy regen over 150, Brant gains 20 points of attack. 12 attack for 1% to 20. And so as you can see, the baseline way that you're going to play this guy is you're probably going to intro in. You're going to intro in with him. You're going to cast your Resonance Liberation. You're going to enter My Moment with the Aflame state. You're going to gain massive buffs to your attack. You're going to generate that Bravo from all of the attacks.
It seems like if you have My Moment, if you have his S2, his second sequence, you're also going to want to outro while that's up. So you can get that nuke. That even bigger nuke. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting how his gameplay is going to change with the sequences.
The midair rant, the crazy ass midair attacks you're doing, the anchors away that you're throwing. And then once your Bravo reaches 100%.
Did you play him already? I have yet to play him yet.
After you're doing all of that attacking, you're going to drop one of the biggest nukes in mankind with his Forte Circuit Enhanced Resonance skill. Because this thing is going to be fucking nuts. If you have this attack bonus, and then this...
Especially if you have a C2.
Scaling. Do recall, this is at level 1. Guys, this does more damage at level 1 than Phoebe's level 10 Liberation. Phoebe's level 10 Liberation has a scaling of 400%
His nuke
attack.
Can miss easily without S2. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
665% as the final hit of the ability. Obviously, he's not going to have as much crit stats because he has to build into the ER, but you can see where this could get a little bit nuts, especially with all of this scaling that you're going to be having down here. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, This character is pretty simple in how he works.
He might be a character that you'll have to do crit fishing for. As we've seen with characters like Jinxie, who is a crit fisher, right? We're all aware. We're all aware how kind of difficult it could be sometimes to make sure you're hitting all those crits. It might be the same for Brant. We might have the same problem with Brant. He could do a shit ton of damage, but if he ain't hitting, it's gonna be pain. It's gonna be pain. This is gonna be a crit fishing character, guys. Ooh, that's probably the downside. He might hit really hard, but if he misses a lot, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Bit of a problem.
Intros in, he casts his Liberation, he gets the Aflame buff, he gets a massive attack boost from his ER, and then he starts casting his abilities like this, uses his mid-air attack, builds up all of this Bravo, continually heals the team as he's building the Bravo up, and then he drops Return from the Ashes once he is fully built up on Bravo, and then nukes the enemy off the face of the earth. That is his playstyle. And then once you're done with that rotation, you should have full Concerto. And after that Concerto is filled, you activate his outro skill. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is an outro skill that, well, you can imagine who it's for. He amplifies the incoming Resonator's fusion damage by 20% and their resonance skill damage by 25%. This is for Chang Li.
With convention.
Yippee!
Chang Li finally has a partner. Chang Li finally has somebody that she can work with. And
it's gonna be quick. This team is gonna be quick swap hell. I feel like this team's gonna be quick swap hell. I don't know why. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be something.
Brant looks like he's gonna be mechanically crazy to play. There's a reason why Chang Li is running alongside him. Because his outro buff directly interacts with her kit. You'll probably want to time Chang Li's 4th Inflamement stack with this. You probably want Chang Li at 3 Inflamement stacks by the time that Brant outro skills to Chang Li. She gets True Sight, she dashes in, and then gets Inflamement, nukes with it, then uses her Liberation.
Bro, Shane's like a woo Wikipedia, man. He's like spitting bars. It sounds like Saints rapping. Can we put that? Like, bro's actually spitting mad bars. Wait, hang on.
Time that Brant outro skills to Chang Li. She gets True Sight, she dashes in, and then gets Inflamement, nukes with it, then uses her Liberation, then nukes again, and then hopefully has enough of her outro skill buff to go to somebody else on the team.
Yo, can someone put Saint over a beat? Yo, could someone put him over a beat? That shit went crazy style. Yo, that shit went crazy. Wait, maybe I'll do that. We'll put the War Encyclopedia. We'll put him over a beat. Like the worst beat you've ever seen. The worst.
I do think a strong team potentially is going to be Shorekeeper,
That's
Brant,
common
and
to play Chang Li, though. I'm just making a silly joke, man. I'm just out here trying to make a silly joke. That's all we're doing.
Lee, where you go from Shorekeeper to Brant to Chang Li. And then you use Chang Li's outro skill buff.
Fucking! I'm so tired of Shorekeeper! Oh, I don't want to use her. Bet on it, blank. You are my favorite person. Bro, I'm so tired of everything needing Shorekeeper. Oh, okay, I'm silly, I know. I'm silly for skipping her. Brent's ult, it's ult damage, Chang Li buffs ult and fusion damage. I know. Oh, we're gonna be in for a good time, man. We're being for a great time.
Buff to buff Shorekeeper's Liberation damage and her
Okay, listen, I know. Sucks to be me, I get it, man. Sucks to be me, I get it.
Discernment. And I think that's kind of like the rotation that you might want to use. Shorekeeper outro to Brant, outro to Chang Li, outro to Shorekeeper. And that'll probably be okay. SK Liberation damage. Guys, Discernment does Resonance Liberation damage. So Chang Li buffs Shorekeeper's Discernment. And so that's my suggestion for the cycle. Start off on Shorekeeper, go to Brant, buff Chang Li, buff Shorekeeper's Discernment, start a new rotation. That's what I would do as a sort of like day one Brant lineup. You can, however, because Brant does heal, you could run something like Chang Li, Brant, and like Chisha, where Chisha is the last character The only problem is, though, guys, is that, well, Brant isn't really going to get his intro skill in that rotation. And
why?
Brant's not going to gain this bonus to his rotation.
Oh, okay. Oh, rip. Yeah, that's gonna be ass. It's interesting. We're gonna be running like two kind of like healers. So it's like Brant really is being treated like a DPS. Brant is directly being treated like a DPS and not really as like a healer or anything like that. Like he's a cool DPS support. Honestly, that's kind of what I like Wooer characters to be. They can heal if you need to, but in Wooer, characters that just mainly heal, you don't really need. Is that a hot take? Like, we don't need, like, dedicated healing characters. We don't need dedicated healing support. Having DPSs that have, like, some kind of heal built in to begin with their, like, supports is actually the best way to build a character. Otherwise, it feels like wasted slots. Because just don't get hit, right? Just don't get hit in the game. You don't need to heal. So I actually really like the fact that heals are built into, like, a DPS character. I think that's pretty cool. I'll be honest. I think that's pretty cool.
Where he starts off his mid-air attack. That's not the craziest thing ever. You could just start off the team's rotation on Brant and then just go ahead and then cycle to Chang Li and then cycle to Shisha and then cycle back to Brant, and then maybe it'll work out. You'll just have to see. But when it comes to his overall guide,
the healers are only meta because of team-wide buffs. Yeah, exactly. It's their supports that matter more. But having someone that heals and buffs and DPS, it's like the perfect character. We're gonna move it to a triple sub DPS meta. I love that. That sounds super fun. More buttons that I could press, the better. That sounds super fun to me. I'll be honest. That is pretty cool.
Guides, when it comes to how he works, I think he is going to have a solid number of teams on launch. He's going to have one with Shorekeeper. He's going to have one with Chang. He's going to have one with Chang Li and pretty much all of his teams. He's going to have one where he's the main healer and there isn't a support outro buff supporting anybody. And it's just one outro skill to another outro skill to another outro skill. But for now, I would say he has a lot of different uses. It's just, he's one of the most difficult characters to build in the game. And based off of this, I'm going to say he's probably one of the least free-to-play friendly characters in the game. Because you're going to have to consume an absurd number of...
We will be spending money on Brant. I'm dropping smackaroons on him when he comes out, man. I'll be making so much content with Brant, it will be unreal. I will make, bro, we will be, guys, I'm telling you, we are going to be the #1 Brant enjoyer. We will be the #1 Brant enjoyer. We will be the ultimate Brant player. We will have all the Brant, I'm telling you, this is my time to shine, man. This will be my time to shine, the #1 Brant owner. It will happen. It will happen.
Of tuners and tubes to get him into a competitive state. You need at bare minimum ER on like every single one of his echoes, perhaps even with his signature. And I'm going to say that to reach his full potential, you need far more investment than any other.
We're back. Elon Musk fucking got me, man.
Resources to get performance on him that is equivalent to the performance on a support character that you haven't spent nearly as much on. He's extremely expensive. And I think that you want to think twice about how specific his echoes are in the first place for him to work. I would say take the time right now to grind out his set, grind out the Tide-Breaking Courage set, and if you're able to get a decent one by the time his banner arrives, then maybe pull him. But if you're not able to get a decent set, you will have seen firsthand how expensive he is to build, and you might just make the decision, gosh, I don't want to spend this much in tuners and tubes. Maybe I just skip the guy. Because,
hey, I don't know. I am a loyal, committed wife. I am a loyal and committed wife as long as it takes. As long as it takes. That's all it is. If you want him, grind for him. That's really it. You know? Like, I feel, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time maybe farming stuff. Like, no, just like, do you want him? Does he seem fun to you? Do you want to pull for him? Then grind his gear. That is what it is. Then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point. Yeah, because if you're telling people just to spend your tuners and echoes for a couple weeks anyway, and then choose not to pull him, you have just wasted a shit ton of resources. So it's true. I don't know what Sage's trying to say here. I know what he's trying to say. Just farm all the echoes. And if you want him, pull for him. If you don't, don't. That is what it is. Watch other people play him. If you're unsure whether or not to get Brant, you can farm the echoes if you want to. if you want to, then watch people play him day one and see what they say about him. Is he good? Is he bad? What's the verdict? And if you kind of like it, then, you know, you've got a bunch of echoes that you can roll on if you want to. You got plenty of time to farm for him till the next Expando comes out. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you don't have to pull day one. You don't have to pull for him day one, okay? Think about that. I feel a lot of us, but oh, you gotta get him day one. You gotta like level him immediately and do all these things from straight up. Like, no.
That is the feeling that I kind of have about Rosia, where I spent like 2,000, 3,000 tuners just trying to optimize the character. And now I feel like I'm in a deficit that I will never get out of. He's rough. He's hard to build. But I think if you build him and you get him to his full potential,
get a pirate hat. Oh my god. I absolutely will get a pirate hat. The Sato to smear campaign, we will be a propagandist for Brant. Next stream, guys. Next stream, we're going full Brant propaganda. There's gonna be Brant shit everywhere. I'm gonna become the #1 knowledge source for Brant enjoying, and we will preach to everybody. We will preach to everyone why he's a great character.
He does a lot of damage. He has a significant amount of healing, and his scaling is incredible. But he's got a lot of nuances to make the most out of him. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was an in-depth overview. I think we went over everything. That wasn't too complicated like his basic attack. And let me know what you all think. Peace out.
This is the dread of Captain Brant Sparrow. Pirates so great on the 7 seas.
This dog is... Wait, what the fuck? What's going on? I'm scared! Who the fuck is...